Hey, everybody. I wanted to jump on here. I'm actually watching a storm chaser who's down on. Let me pull my warnings up. Yeah. Let's see. He's on that storm in Beauregard Parish. Brandon Kopic is his name. Copic. If you want to check out his stream, he is looking west on this storm. North of Dry Creek, and I can't, I didn't see it. I didn't see a power flash or anything. I see the lowering he's looking at, but he says tornado on the ground with this. I can't confirm it completely, but I'm just telling you what he has and what I'm seeing through that right now. So that is why I jumped on here. No, we don't have a warning on this, but let me put that in the chat. Let me see. So I'm watching his stream. I can't put it up for everyone. It's I don't have the rights to that kind of stuff. So I am watching very carefully though on his stream to see what he's doing, and he is right down here in this area right here. So let me put this. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So that is the area of rotation we're looking at right now. They put a severe thunderstorm warning on it. I am watching him to see if I see any sort of power flash or damage because he's really really close to it. But his name is Brandon Kopic, Copic. You can look him up on YouTube. I don't want to steer you away from me, but that is who's watching this and who's going to have a better feed than me right now. And that's for this cell right here, north of Dry Creek near Kipling. And there was a pretty solid. Let me go. I'm going to do the last half hour. I hit play, and you can see it was looking like it was about to wrap up right in that area, and certainly is possible that that's the case. So if you're seeing any damage or any issues out of this one, please do let me know. I'm just monitoring his feed without the audio on. I'm monitoring my cameras. The one down there in that's between like Dry Creek and DeRidder, that's the one down there in northeast Beauregard Parish. I'm not seeing anything right now, but on his stream he was saying that it was down. So that's what I'm looking at. That's why I popped on. Here's your severe thunderstorm warning for this cell, and that does include southwestern Rapides as well as parts of northwestern Allen and southeastern Evangeline Parish. And they're outside of their cars now hugging each other. So I guess it's not too terribly dangerous right where they are. But anyway, so this is a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it. This is from Dry Creek up through Grant and heading toward Elizabeth. Let's go ahead and take a look. They're putting their drone up right now, I can see, so they'll get a better look at this thing. I don't know about that in the lightning, but hey, have fun. Okay, so here's what we have on reflectivity. This is your traditional radar scan here, and you can see that we certainly do have a lot of heavy rain falling here. This is heading toward the east-northeast, and this is heading, let's see what the speed is on this one. Hold on one second. Near Grant, near Sugartown, on that storm moving northeast at 40. The hazard is 60-mile-per-hour winds, possible tornado, and hail as well. So I'm just keeping a watch on this since they have eyes on it right now. And there's your severe thunderstorm warning that is attached to this storm. Let me go ahead and show you what's going on from our other radar site. And that one is showing, okay, so there's something interesting going on here. Let's go into wind shear for just a brief minute here, and just to show the velocity data. You see that little line that's kind of sinking to the south, and that is slowing down a bit, and this is going to eventually be what helps to sweep things out of here, but it is kind of slowing its progress. Let's look over the last couple hours and see how this thing's been doing. There it comes in from the northwest, and it's just kind of stretching out overhead right now, and that is where we're going to see some storms focus. We're going to see that real heavy rain run along that, and we're already seeing that. We've had that batch kind of to the south and the one to the north. I think these kind of converge in on our area right now, and we are going to see some fairly heavy rain. We've seen some rain off and on, some heavier bursts here in Alexandria, but as of now, we have avoided the worst of the heavy stuff. Let me go and see what we have. Well, it looks like they still have a decent wall cloud on this thing. So that's the storm down here that we're watching right now. That's the one that they are watching, that they have been on for a while, and that is the area of rotation that possibly produced a tornado. They said it was down. I couldn't see it completely, so I can't tell you for sure. But if so, it was not on the ground for a long time. But it does look like a sizable wall cloud out of this one that I cannot see right now on my cameras, but I've got it right here, so I'll use any resource I can to figure out what's going on here. But right now, I don't see anything that's on the ground or anything like that, but it was definitely worth jumping up and saying, yeah, it was a bit of a lowering, and that was really all we kind of had on it. So here's the area from Grant down to Cherry Grove and Dry Creek. That's where this storm is right now. It's moving toward the northeast. We have that severe thunderstorm warning until 7:15 p.m. But again, that northern boundary is kind of sinking southward into the area. You can see that right there. And then we have that surge of moisture coming up. That warm front meets up with this, and that's where we're going to get some pretty big thunderstorms to fire up. Let's go ahead and show you the latest on the last 6 hours of rain accumulation. And we are seeing some really big totals through Beauregard Parish. Now, let me show you. When you're in the yellow, you're at 2 or above. 2 inches or more is what you have seen so far. Out here into Newton County, Texas, 5.2. Again, these are estimates. 4.9, 5.1 up to Natchitoches. We see some totals approaching 5 inches, so 2 to 6 inches in these green areas where you see the red. That's where the heaviest rainfall has fallen. Out here in Rapides Parish, 1.3, 1.4. We're doing pretty well with this so far. I do think we're going to see that heavy rain kind of converge on the area here over the next little bit, though. So let's go ahead and put things in motion, show you what we have now. I'm glad to see we did not end up with a tornado warning out of this. I thought I was going to be right ahead of that one, but I definitely, when he said, he's a storm chaser who chases a lot. Once he said that, I said, well, I've got to go on and at least say that he had reported that. And it was with this cell right here that is near Elizabeth and Grant, moving on toward the northeast. Also, tons of other storms out here to the west from Leesville back down into Jasper and Newton County, Texas. Sabine County, Texas, still some heavy rain going on, and that all trails back into southeast Texas. And what I want to do now, especially since we don't have a tornado warning, I'm going to go over to the future track here. And this is our latest run of the HRRR model. This is a high-res model. This allows for thunderstorm development and small-scale features that we don't see on bigger models like the GFS. It runs on a finer grid space, so we're seeing smaller areas. So it's basically, it'll resolve down to the scale of a thunderstorm, while the GFS, it's going to resolve down to larger features and just kind of give us a general idea of what's happening. So here's what we have over the next little while. Let me start again here. So 7, 8 o'clock, more storms just continue to back build and fill in some really intense cores out of that activity. And then by about 11 o'clock, I think the severe threat's going to shove on east of here. So we're going to get another push to the east. That's going to push that main batch of storms down to the south before midnight. And we will be able to go to sleep, hopefully, with no big issues here. But as we get into the overnight hours, you can see we get a little more light rain up here in the morning, but look at that rain just continuing to pound those areas along I-10. Let me go ahead and show you what the rain, what that all equates to in rainfall accumulation. And it's got that heaviest band, I think, just a little bit far south right now. We could see more. That you can see when it started, it was at 2.8. But finishing up 5.4. 5.4 down to Lafayette. If you saw last hour, it was at 8.4. It's why we don't look at one run and say, hey, that's going to happen. In fact, I think that heavier strip is going to be just north of us for now, and then we're going to see this one down to the south as well. So this is more to give us an idea of what the maximum totals are going to be, and this is what's going to fall in addition to what already has. So another 3 to 6 inches in isolated spots, most areas getting 1 to 3 more inches. We are about halfway through this thing, but I think until 10 or 11 o'clock, we're still going to see plenty of heavy rain in the area. Now let's go back over to radar, take a look at what we have there. And what we have is a lot of rainfall. Just making sure we don't get a tornado warning out of that. Nope. And I'm going to go back to a half-hour loop. So we got a shorter one there, but more heavy rain about to push into the west side of Alexandria. Let's pull up the lightning, tons of lightning, and that really allows you to pick out the heavier, more intense storms. And that one right here in northwestern Allen, northeastern Beauregard Parish, that is one of those bigger storms right now. Vernon Parish into Newton County, Texas. Tons of lightning happening right now. Almost 2,000 strikes when we look at the whole area. We go out further and see the whole thing. About 2,700, which is actually a little bit down from what we saw earlier. So, so some good news there, but a storm, pretty heavy one coming into Alexandria. If you are out on the roads, I wouldn't recommend it, but hey, I know you don't always listen to me. I get it. I mean, I don't listen to everyone either. Let's go ahead. Just take one more look at this, and if we don't have a tornado warning or if it doesn't look like it's about to go, I'm probably going to step away again. But when I saw that report from the chaser of a possible tornado, I wanted to come on and let you know what was going on. I'd say right now on that southern end from Cherry Grove to Grant over toward Oakdale, that's where the worst of this storm is. It looks like sometimes we've seen a lot of these turn to the left. It looks like this one is pushing a bit more toward the right. You can see how that's kind of redeveloping, moving a little more east-northeast as opposed to some of these we saw earlier that were moving almost directly to the north. So let's see. All right, let's see what's going on here. St. Landry. Okay, these are, just to give you an idea of what's going on here. The orange is a severe thunderstorm warning. These are flood warnings. Over St. Landry, that's a special weather statement. That's kind of like a lesser, so it's not a severe thunderstorm warning, but we're just saying, hey, this could produce 40, 50 mile an hour wind. It could possibly produce some hail up to the size of pennies or something like that. But in this case, I believe that one's going to be more geared toward the wind. Let me see. Could be a little small hail down there around sunset with this, but mainly that was for the wind there. So that was their first wave that kind of came through apart from what we had this morning. And then we're seeing everything just kind of come together here as that northern boundary comes in from the north. The warm front is kind of hung up right over the middle of the area. And that, as these are colliding, is why we're seeing new storms and a pretty robust thunderstorm pop right over Alexandria. There's your radar site out here, and it's showing tons of activity. I see the camera up above my head, not showing anything too interesting, but I'm guessing lightning's going to start popping out of this one pretty good, and you can certainly see that on our latest radar scans. But it's nothing like what's going on out here right near the Texas-Louisiana border with these couple of storms. So I'm going to step away for a bit. I will come back on live if we see a tornado warning or a significant severe thunderstorm warning, and of course I'll pop back on at some point anyway just to let you know what's going on. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Have a good evening. I'll see you back here in a bit.